Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight. The broken, the unspoken. We can't heal if the wound is open. It feels like no one cares to see your heart is bleeding. Your cry is ignored when you are ill. When the wrong, the pain and lies I kept a secret to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. Liberia, Liberia. When will we stop being the inferior? Our vulnerable children stripped of their innocence. It feels like no one cares to see your heart is bleeding. Your cry is ignored when you are ill. When the wrong, the pain and lies I kept to secret to gain for their own benefit. Be strong, be brave. You're too far away from the grave. Stand tall. We are here. We don't know the spirit of fear. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. We will overcome. Yes, we will overcome. We will overcome. Yes, we will. Liberia, we can't give up. They have turned their backs on us. Liberia, we can't give up. Liberia, we can't give up. They have turned their backs on us. Liberia, we can't give up. Young girls, don't cry. You're not alone in the fight.
Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today we learn that's celebrating January 6, 2022 will be a solemn occasion for our speaker. We know that Donald Trump, the insurrectionist, former president, will be making a statement on that day. We also know that the first congressman has been invited to meet with the January 6th committee, Congressman Scott Peters, and he has refused to meet with him, saying they're illegitimate, and he has taken them to court. So, how are we going to celebrate? Or not even celebrate, we can't celebrate that day. How are we going to observe January 6th, 2022? For me, this was a very evil day in our history. This was a day when our democracy and all that we stand for and believe in was threatened by evil forces, domestic evil forces. And for me, it is very, very important that the January 6th committee pursues its work to conclusion so that what happened January 6, 2021 never repeats itself in our history. We are a great nation because of our democracy. We are a great people despite our past, despite the ills that have happened in this nation. We are a great people because, like our system of democracy, we pursue change, advancement, progress. And once we are not stagnated with dictatorship, one man rule, one family rule, one group rule, and all this despicable bullshit of a leadership beneath the system of democracy, we will always grow and prosper as a people. Because change is inevitable. You can't sit on change forever. And change is so inevitable that even our great Lord and Savior Jesus Christ knew this. And he taught us it. You know, he taught us everything we need to know to set our lives on a good path. So, for those of us who believe in our system of democracy, this great country, America, we got to keep praying and hoping that what happened January 6, 2021 never repeats itself. That our people become more enlightened to the fact that having choices and being able to exercise the right to exercise our free choice is a blessing. It's a blessing of a people that understand what it means to work together, live free, and pursue your happiness in the great United States of America. So that's it for January 6, 2022. It's a great occasion that we need to observe because on that day we almost lost something that our fathers built that we may continue to prosper from, enjoy, and sustain for generations to come. Let's take a moment and before I even get into my lesson, today in Rhode Island is going to be in the 40s, low 40s. Right now it's about 40 degrees. It will go about 2 or 3 more degrees, and that will be the high for today. Right now it's dry, so make good use of it. We expect rain, ice. I didn't hear about snow. I just heard about icy rain. So take heed and cover yourselves out there. Watch out for black ice. That how I broke my hip in 3 places. Take heed and cover yourself. Okay, let's start my lessons. My first topic for today is 2 days to Christmas. Will the collaborating political parties, CPP, hold? Two, what does the failure of the CPP mean? Cry, Liberia. Let me take a break, then we start my first topic. Two days to Christmas. Will the collaborating political parties, CPP, hold? That is a good question. That is a good question. For Liberians to work together, it's a struggle. It's a struggle because when can we ever come to a consensus? When can we ever come to an agreement and accept it? Even the CDC that leading right now that's supposed to be a coalition, George Weah came on and said, I'm the leader of this coalition, like it or not. And they had to accept it. They accepted. They had no other choice. Perhaps that what Boca should have done with the CPP, and he didn't do it. And they came out with a different format, saying that they would form each other and they would go to a convention and have an election, and whoever wins will lead the party. But then the question begs, who will be second if somebody loses? We know Benin and Nigeria want to be second. We know Yomli Kanga don't mind being second. But that's the choice of the members of the CPP. That's not the choice of the member. People want Borka and Cummings or Cummings and Borka either way. But both of those people don't want to submit to the next one. Both of them either want to be leader or not. But they don't want to share. They don't want to be under anybody. So here we are. And since this party came together recently, Mr. Benana Yue threw a wrench in the whole process of the party by accusing somebody of Alec Cummings' party, the ANC, of tampering with the framework document of the CPP, which is the constitution of the CPP. So we go to look into the case. We find out, yeah, Cummings say, yes, we tampered with it. Then he comes and says, no, we didn't tamper with it. Then the lawyer comes and says, oh, we changed the I to small I to big I to B, all this, they coming out. Further complicates the situation. Now people start insulting each other. You got Lobo on one side. Initially, we have Costa on one side. All of them hurling insults at Cummings. You have Cummings people hurling insults back. I mean, all this bad blood was created for nothing. And these are educated people. These are the creme de la creme of our society. The top class, the cream of the cream. And these are the people. These are the leaders of our society. And these people, because of deception, because of dishonesty, because of insincerity, they can't come together. All this fuss coming up. So who do we blame for all of this? Do we point the finger to Banana Ure? Because we know, I myself, when this see people are formed, I wonder why Banana Ure was so involved in it, because Banana Ure party lost severely. And for him to be so involved and entangled with the CPP, that I was bamboozled. I was like, not bamboozled, I was just confused. I wonder why would people bring Banana Ure into the fray when his party did not achieve even 5% of the votes. So why is he so significant to the CPP? Why is he so involved with it? But, what can you say? That's the People Coalition. So, yeah, we are. Now that the coalition has failed because of deceptive practices. The coalition failed because of dishonest practices. The coalition failed because of insincerity. And here we are now. Here we are now. At the crossroads where it appears that the CDC may win again. Because if this coalition fails, which they intend not to do it, but how they will not fail? I mean, the blood is so bitter, all kind of rumors coming out. The people don't believe in each other. We're in the coalition, we're in the collaboration, which is already shaken. You have the Liberty Party that is further shaken, a division within a division. I mean, our country is just in a mess. So, where do we stand? Where do we stand? If Joe Walker is a threat to Ella Cummings and Ella Cummings is a threat to Joe Walker, how is the CPP going to address the needs and plight of the Liberian people? How are you going to address it? There's just too much bullshit going on here. You know, you guys act like you didn't even go to school to get educated. You just fighting each other over power, over greed, because it's a vacuum, because our poor people are so gullible and can be pulled around in any direction because of money, because of lies, deception. Money is not the only thing. Money is one thing. But you got deception and greed and promises that are not true. Lies. So how do we handle all these things? These things, they're not making our country any better. They're not making our people any stronger. They're making our society weak. They're making our society weak. We are held accountable and responsible for our own society, for our own lives, our own survival, our own pride and prestige. It is on all of us. It is not only on Borka and Ure and Cummings. It's not only guys. And that's why I try to impress upon you all. It is not about individuals. It is for us. It is collective. Us. And if we don't understand the true meaning of this, people will continue to steal. Look at all our government officials, all of their own hospitals, all of their own private stuff. They're not for them. I was listening to your Senate player talking about her cousin, how he said he was going to build government school and all of that, and then he built a school. Now all of a sudden the school for him. How the government school turned to his private school. What all this stealing is about. What all this greed and deception of the Liberian people is about. Our people need to rise. Our people need a chance to progress and advance. But how will we do it with all this deception? You're making our people gullible. You're making our people stupid. You're making our people senseless. When our leaders fail consistently and continually, it impacts the mental status of our community. So where are we going with all of this? Where? Let me take a break and I'll start with my second topic. What does the failure of the CPP mean? We know that for 3 years or 4 years now, we have been dealing with an inept, corrupt, evil regime. We have been dealing with a regime that leaves atrocities and the deaths of our people uninvestigated. We are dealing with a regime that is responsible for the deaths of Liberian people, whether they did it or not, because of their failures to investigate and properly finalize all these cases that are open in our society that involve the deaths of people, family members. They are held responsible for it. That prima facie evidence that they involved with the murder somehow. Our auditors, the 4 auditors that died and were killed in 1 week. Then the subsequent ones. People disappearing in our society, we can't find them no more. They killing security officers, shooting him down in public. All these evil things happening in our society, and the government is silent about it. The president comes out and gives us false information, tell us gifted longer than our lovers. Without any investigation being done, come to find out the people not love us. Why? Why? Because our society is broken down. Ellen Johnson was supposed to build our society up. But after she stole so much money from our country, after she let her children rip our country off and her family, she had to hide it. She had to hide it. She couldn't give it to Borka. She couldn't give it to anybody else. So she gave it to George Weah. She gave it to him and made him promise her protection. Now here the dummy take over. He tell us that a woman who put her children in power over our government, rip our country off of its resources and wealth. He tells us we family. How in the hell me and Ellen Johnson Sally became family? You kill our people for nepotism. Then this one put all our family in our government against the will of the Liberian people, causing our people to die in vain or appear to die in vain. Then you tell us you can't punish her because we're family. So everybody can steal and get away with it because we're family. We forgive every rule in our country. Now, under this regime, our resources have been plundered so much stealing is going on. We can't account for nothing in our country. We can't comfort anything in our country. Nothing what it seems to be. Huh? They inflate the budget. Huh? Give themselves more money. Huh? Give themselves all wealth. Give themselves $30,000 they can't account for. They know what they're going to do with the money. They're making all kind of excuses. Then they take all our wealth and give it to a sailor, Mattel, in a deal that will enrich a foreign company more than the Liberian people. They will wonder why our country can develop or grow or excel. But here we are. Here we are. With all these things going on, we look into the CPP to bring us relief. We look into the CPP to provide good leadership, to provide competent leadership, hold people accountable for what is happening in our country, help to clean up the mess that these native boys have left our country looking like because they don't know any better. But instead of that, our leaders, our educated people fighting among themselves. They demonstrated that they are no, despite their education, their character, their characters are no different than George Weah. With all their education, they're behaving like George Weah. Everything is greed and money. They can't come together to make any sense of their group or their coalition. Fighting among themselves, cussing each other, insulting each other. What is this? It's just a sad demonstration of poor leadership skills, of lack of patriotism and loyalty to the Republic of Liberia. These people have lost their minds. They've gone nuts and they want to take all of us with them. But this is insanity. Insanity. That's all I can put it to. The dishonesty, the untrustworthiness, the greed, the insincerity has driven them crazy. Let me take a break and start my final topic. Cry Liberia. You hear what's happening yesterday? Elliot Cummings and Boka met in Ghana. They left all the executives, the main people for their parties back, the chairman, the Lobo, the side, what the name, the Mo, Ali, all these people, they left them and went secretly and met 4 or 5 people knew about it from each party when they met in Ghana with Alan White. This man who's involved in Liberia business. This man who's supposed to be an envoy of the United Nations or some group but he involved in Liberia business a lot. And the way they want to bring peace to Liberia, mm, is questionable at best. So here we are. Alan White met with Cummings and Walker in Ghana. The meeting lasted a short while. They said the meeting didn't even last 15 minutes, or at most 15, 20 minutes. So what kind of meeting would just go last 15, 20 minutes? Somebody got mad in that meeting. So there's talk about money. There's talk that Alan White them want to convince Joe Walker to retire and take $5 million. But Walker said the money is Walker and his group said the money too small. They want more money. And that's when the meeting broke out, and everybody just went their own way. Said, it ain't gonna work. And everybody just pulled out. Then after they pulled out, the Unity Party leadership, all the county leaders and all that went together and sat down and said that they were going to make a resolution to pull the Unity Party out of the CPP. But what is even more interesting is that on this trip to Ghana, Boca took his family, his children, his son, and all of that to sit in there with them in the discussion. So one group of people saying that lie, nothing involved money, they're trying to make Cummings look bad. Then the other group is saying, but if it's not so, why would Boca take his son? His son has never been involved in Liberian politics before. His son is not a government official, not a party official. So why would he take his son with him on this special mission if it is not to talk about money and Boca pulling out of the party leadership? So here we are again. We call between the rock and the hard place, we, the spectators. What was this meeting all about? What was the intention of these people? We heard that Alan White was kicked out of the meeting. Why? The Liberian people need some answers, and our leaders are not providing us those answers. The behaviors of our leaders are questionable. They are questionable. And these are the people we're looking to change this corrupt, incompetent leadership of George Weah. But they are demonstrating that we must as well keep George Weah there because they may prove worse than George Weah. So, cry, Liberia, cry. Cry, man, cry, cry, cry. How will we fix our country? How will we elevate the lives of our people from this mediocrity of petty corruption and stealing in the evil of a few men? How? How will we free our people from Ellen Johnson selling her family? After all they did to us, they're still trying to keep our society down and blind and quiet. How? It's up to us. Liberia is our country. It's up to us. Liberia is our country. We can't be scared to free ourselves. We can't be scared to take our country from the mess it's in now and try to move it in a different direction. We can't be scared to rise up from living the way we're living in the dirt and stinking mess in Liberia. While some people just riding around with their windows wind up, they can't stand the stench. They're living in better areas, and we gotta deal with all this stench. Our year is about 3 hours from Cinco Fiamma to Broad Street Memorial. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane. We gotta get up. We can do better. Far, far, far better. We can do better. My class is done. Aluta. Continue. Have a good day.